My queen, I've made you official today. Not because I needed the world's permission, not because it was trending, not because someone told me to, but because my heart finally caught up to what it's been feeling for a long time. You're the one, and I wanted everyone to know. I didn't post a big announcement, didn't write some long caption filled with perfect words. That's not how we love. We're quiet, soft, private, in the best kind of way. But today, I changed my relationship status, updated my bio, saved your photo where everyone could see it. Not for show, but for truth. Because you've been mine in heart, in soul, in everything that matters. And now, you're mine in name too. And I'm proud of that. Proud of the way you love me. Proud of the way you stay calm when I lose myself. Proud of how we built this slowly, not rushed, not perfect, just real. There were days I wasn't sure I'd ever find something like this. Someone like you. Someone who didn't need convincing. Someone who didn't leave when things got hard, but you stayed. And because you stayed, I've grown. I've softened. I've become more of the man I always wanted to be. So yes, I've made it official today, not for attention, but for honor. Because you deserve that. You deserve to be seen, to be spoken about with respect, to be loved out loud. It wasn't one big moment that made me realize. It was 1,000 small ones. The way you spoke to me when I was frustrated, not with judgment, but with softness. The way you always made space for me to feel, even when I didn't have the words. The way your silence never felt cold, just calm, steady, like a safe place I didn't even know I needed. That's when I started feeling it, the shift. You weren't just someone I was talking to. You weren't just someone I liked. You were becoming someone I respected, someone I wanted to represent, not just in private calls or sweet words behind closed doors, but out there in front of the world. I started looking at you differently, started hearing your name and feeling proud, started noticing that when people asked me if I was seeing someone, I wanted to say yes, and say it with my whole chest. Because you weren't a secret. You weren't just talking. You weren't someone I needed to hide. You were the calm in my storms. You were the softness I didn't know how to ask for. You were mine, not in a way that owned you, but in a way that meant I was ready to choose you openly. So, when I made you official today, it wasn't just about a label, it was about respect. It was about claiming something that's been real in my heart for a long time. I wanted people to know, not because it matters to them, but because it matters to me. You deserve to be named. You deserve to be honored. And this is me saying, I'm not hiding this love. Not now. Not ever. Making it official didn't change the way I feel about you. It just gave the world a small glimpse of what's been growing quietly between us for a while now. It didn't need a status to be real. It didn't need an update to feel deep. It was already steady, already strong, already true. But still, there's something powerful about saying, yes, it's her. She's the one I choose. She's the one I'm building with. She's the one I'm proud to stand beside. I know people might scroll past, see your picture next to mine, and not think much of it. But for me, that post was a quiet declaration that I've stopped running, that I've stopped second guessing, that I found someone who doesn't just match my heart, she understands it, and that's rare. You didn't ask for this, you never pushed. You never made me feel like I had to prove anything. But you loved me in a way that made me want to give more. Not because I was forced, but because I felt full. So making us official today wasn't a reaction. It was a reflection of what's already been here. Late night talks that made me feel whole. Random check-ins that reminded me I mattered. The way you say my name like it's something worth holding. That's the love I've made official, not just to the world, but to myself. Since I made us official, I've been thinking about the future in a different way. Not just in dreams, not just in what ifs, but in real moments, in daily things, in intentions that carry weight. I don't just think about dates or trips or pictures. I think about what it means to build a life with you. Not just beside you, with you. Like waking up and hearing your voice before anything else. Like making small decisions together. What groceries to buy, where to go on a lazy weekend, how to make the house feel like ours. I think about things that feel simple but matter deeply, because with you it's not about chasing excitement, it's about finding peace. And I want that with you. I want to plan things not just for now, but for next year. The year after that, for all the quiet chapters we haven't written yet. And that doesn't scare me. It feels right. Because the way you love me, soft, patient, steady, makes forever feel like something I don't have to fear. It feels possible. It feels natural. And maybe I'm not rushing into anything. But I am moving with purpose now. Because when someone gives you the kind of love you don't have to question, you start seeing the future more clearly. Not because you're trying to hold on to it, but because you're finally free to imagine it without worry. And my future, it starts with you. People have started to notice not just the post, not just the photo, but me. They say I seem lighter, more calm, more sure of myself. And I know why. It's because for the first time, I'm not hiding my love, not hiding the way you make me feel, not pretending to be unbothered or unavailable. I'm in this now, fully, openly, with both feet in, and it feels good to be seen. Not for attention, but because when something is real, you don't want to keep it in the shadows anymore. I used to protect my feelings so much, thinking if I kept them private, they'd stay safe. But with you, I want people to know. I want them to know who brings peace into my world, who I laugh with when no one else is around, who teaches me how to love more gently and live more fully. And yeah, some people are surprised, some ask questions, some even doubt it, but I don't feel the need to explain us, because the way you love me speaks louder than anything I could ever post. And if people are paying attention now, I hope they notice this, that when you're loved right, you glow different, you move different, you breathe different, and that's what you've done for me. So when I say I've made you official, it's not just online. I've made you official in my life, in my heart, and now in the way I carry myself. I'm yours, and I'm not afraid of anyone knowing it. Now that it's official, my heart's moving different, but so are my actions. Because love like this, it deserves more than words. It deserves effort. And that's what I've been doing quietly in the background, taking steps, small ones but solid, saving more, planning ahead. Thinking about things I used to push away, like where we'll live, what kind of space you'd feel safest in, what kind of life we could build, not just for the now, but for the always. And it's not about being flashy, it's about being intentional. I'm thinking long term now, not because love should be rushed, but because real love should be prepared for. And I want to prepare for the hard days, for the days you're tired and quiet, for the moments you need someone to stand beside you without asking questions. I want to be that person, the one who shows up in the small things, in the boring parts of life, in the parts that feel quiet but still deserve presence. Because making you official wasn't just a title, it was a turning point where I stopped waiting for life to happen and start building the one we both deserve. I'm not promising perfection, but I am promising presence, patience, consistency. That's the kind of love I want us to grow in. She's changed the way I see love. Before her, I thought love was mostly a feeling. Something that came when things were good, when the spark was strong, when the mood was right. But now I know love is more than that. It's not just in butterflies or long calls. It's in choices, the quiet kind. Choosing to be kind when you're tired. Choosing to listen when it would be easier to walk away. Choosing to stay present even when you don't have the answers. She taught me that, not by talking about it, but by living it. The way she loves, it's not loud, but it's constant. She doesn't need to shout that she cares. She shows it in the way she remembers small things I said in passing, in how she softens when I've had a hard day, in how she holds space for me to be flawed without making me feel broken. And that kind of love, it makes you want to do better. Not because you're not enough, but because you feel safe enough to grow. That's what she gave me. A space to grow, a reason to show up fully, a reason to let go of old ways, old fears, and become the version of me that knows how to love back the way I'm being loved. And I know now, love isn't something you fall into. It's something you rise in, day by day, word by word, choice by choice. And that's what we're doing. Not chasing a perfect story, just writing a real one, together. If there's one thing I've learned through all of this, it's that love doesn't need big promises to be real. It just needs real ones. So here's mine, quiet, honest, and from my heart. I won't promise you a life without struggles. I won't pretend I've got it all figured out. But I will promise this, I'll show up. Even on the days when I'm tired, even when I don't have the right words, even when life gets loud and messy, I'll still be here. I'll protect your name in rooms you're not in. I'll choose kindness, even when I'm upset. I'll ask, how can I love you better today? Because love isn't one size fits all. It changes as we grow, and I want to keep growing with you. Because making you official wasn't a one-time post or gesture. It was a statement of intention, that I see you, that I value you, that I want you to be more than just a part of my life. I want you to be woven into it. And every time someone asks who you are to me, I'll smile. Not just because I love you, but because I'm proud of this love. Proud of what we've built. Proud of who we are, together. So here's my vow, not just in a moment, but every day after it, to stand beside you, even when things shake, and to keep choosing you with my heart, my hands, and my whole life. This is more than official. This is sacred.